So as we start in the practice in a seated position, you're welcome to keep your eyes gently closed. Take a couple of cleansing and grounding exhales to allow yourself to admit the beginning of the practice. Scan your position of the head of the chin to keep the back of the neck relaxed, to keep the shoulders relaxed. If you're finding that it's more comfortable for you to keep your arms on the sides of the hips, just down toward the floor, that are also acceptable. As we would like, first of all, to scan how we feel in the front of the shoulders, back of the shoulders. If we're finding that we're rounding too much through the upper back, allow yourself to lengthen as high as you can here. And then we'll start with the isolated right shoulder rotation. So just to move the right shoulder forward, move it back, and try to keep it isolated. That means that your chin remain where it is. You try not to rotate your torso and just move the shoulders forward, up, back, down. Just one shoulder. Go maybe 3 or 5 movements here and then change the direction. So just the same shoulder, move it forward and down, back, up, forward, down. A couple of times. And then just keep your arms again back symmetrically and just scan the right and left shoulder. So you feel the right shoulder is now awake, warm, because the blood circulation increased there. We're going to do the same with the left. So moving the shoulder forward, up, back, down. Forward, up, back, down. A couple of times. Again, maybe up to 5, one direction, and then 5, the other directions. And, well, again, just sit tall after the 5, just feel the shoulders here. And then we'll add the rotation with the arm. So let's bring the arm in front, make a fist, and then lift your arm as far behind the head as you can, and then rotate, and keeping the arm straight, breathing behind the back of the body, letting the shoulder to come forward, and you turning your face are going to turn in this with the side in the moment that the palm is facing the ceiling and release. So that starts this way. You are taking the arm back. So if you're going to open the fist, your palm is facing the ceiling, your shoulder is an internal rotation, and then you're lifting and the shoulder comes into external rotation. You come with the arm behind the head as far as you can, and then release all the way down. Let's do it again. Lift the arm and very slowly, trying to do it again isolated. That means that you're not rotating, you're trying to explore the end range of movement and release. Again, go opposite direction, coming up. And here, just slide the shoulder blades down, make sure that you're not having this too high, and release. Okay, one more time. Lift the arm up and rotate, so you are observing how the shoulder joint working with the arm going from flexed position to extended position. And last time we're going to go back to the front, all the way here, and release. So just shake your arms, see the moment here, and we'll go with the left. So with the left, you are lifting the left arm first, making the fist, the whole arm is engaged, so all the muscles engaged here. Lift the arm overhead and then start rotating. And as you rotate, you're trying to go with the arm into extension here, elbows straight, release, lift, and rotate all the way up. Here, have a pause and release. 2 more times. Lift the arm. So you can even have a hand here on the top of the shoulder and just notice what's happening in this bone, how it comes forward here. Release, going opposite. Just exploring the end range for the shoulder joint. And the last time, lift. And then bring the arm behind, all the way back. Feel your triceps working here. Release, last time, just to bring it back to the front. And release. Great. So from here, we'll pick up the band. It could be very light resistance band. And bring it behind the shoulder blades. And then stretch your arms to the side. And just note that you're not allowing the band to squeeze your shoulder blades and take your arm behind, right? So you're trying to keep the arm like growing from the shoulder and the resistance band touching the shoulder blades. Okay, and now think of pressing the space between the shoulder blades against the band. So you're finding that you slightly want to round your back, but I rather invite you to engage your abdomen muscles to do that. So just, it's not that you are rounding your upper back, you're just engaging all the posterior chain and the resistance here, and this is really something that is really light stretched. You just feel it. And then release. So let's just rest here a little bit. So again, I will explain. You don't want to round your back to press into resistance band. You want to engage the abdomen and slightly engage all those muscles on the upper back while you are imagining that you're pressing your shoulder blades into the band. So take the band up. You feel how you want to squeeze the shoulder blades, right? You want to extend your spine. And here, I'm inviting you to engage the abdomen muscles and muscles around your shoulder blades like you want to press it against the resistance band. So kind of a slightly rounded, but I'm exaggerating now. I don't want you to be here. I want you to be just engaged in the upper back a little bit. And let's release. So let's come off the block and into the tabletop position. So probably you feel like you want to stretch your legs and your knees and your ankles from the sitting cross-legged position. Setting the hands under the shoulders, setting the knees under the hips. And let's go into protraction and retraction of the shoulders. So very similar to what we just did with the resistance band, but this time you're using your body weight. So your pelvis is not moving, your neck and head is not moving. You're just squeezing the shoulder blades and then puffing the space between the shoulder blades up toward the ceiling. So movement happening in the scapula. So sometimes it's even called scapular push-ups. So your elbows are straight, pelvis is parallel, head is parallel, but you are moving the spine down and then up. Down and then up. One more time. Down and then up. And now just have a quick stretch of your wrist. And while you're stretching, observe me. I'm going to bring the resistance band around my shoulder blades and then I press the palms down to the floor. So I have a little resistance, not much. And I'm going to be pressing the resistance band up with the upper back. So I want to slightly round my upper back, okay? So let's find this. So come with the resistance band around your shoulder blades and just, again, doing the same what we just did. You would like just to hold slightly rounded upper back, okay? So it has to be not against your neck, it has to be against your upper back, against your shoulder blades. So make sure the band is, I'll turn with my back, so it's not here, it's not even here, it's much lower. It has to be around the bra line, being like wrapping your shoulder blades. And then just press it here. Press, feel a bit of a resistance, because when I tell you sometimes to press the mat away, maybe you're not really doing that, so now you feel how you're pressing the mat away and pressing the resistance band with your upper back. And let's extend one leg and let's extend the other leg and tuck the tailbone under and squeeze your glutes and just hold the plank for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's drop the knees. We'll remove the band and just place it in front of the mat so we will be able to pick it up anytime. Take your knees wide, stretch the arms forward into active child pose. Here you will feel some stretch on the front of the shoulders. You might feel some force to go into extension of the upper back. Shake your hips from side to side. Take another exhale here. And then let us come up into the 90-90 lunge. So stepping the right foot forward, having the shin perpendicular to the floor, having the left thigh in neutral position. And let us play here with the pelvis a couple of times to set the pelvis in the neutral position, and then we're going to take the arms into the cactus pose. So here we're in a cactus pose, making sure elbows are aligned with the shoulders, and let us bring the right arm, forearm parallel to the floor, and just make sure that the elbow is not dropped, and check how it feels the shoulder, and then bring it up back, and let's go with the left arm here. Bring the forearm parallel to the floor. So to the front. Emilia, just take a look. You're bringing the forearm parallel here and bring it up. Let's do it again with the right. And come up. And then with the left. And come up. And let's try to do both and try to go as low as you can without dropping your shoulder and elbow. So shoulder and elbow remain the same, and try not to round here, not to bring the chin. So you're trying to do it in isolation and then bring it back up, and then just move the forearm backward, but without moving your elbows back. So elbows align with the chest. Just the forearm go back as far, and try not to flex your palms as well. Keep your palms, wrists straight, and let's release. Let us come into the downward dog and walk your dog here for the couple of times. Finding your best distance between the feet and the hands in a downward dog, and just play with the shoulder blades to lift them toward the ears and then slide them away. So like you're making the upper back wide. Bring the shoulder blades down toward the ears and then slide them back. Find the triceps working. One more time. So like you are finding the proper position, proper support for the shoulders in downward dog. And let's drop the knees down to the floor and step your left foot forward. Pick up your, so we're in this 90-90 lunge. You pick up your band, take it in front, just slightly stretch, and then just go behind the hips. I'm going to do it 5 times, just to move the band with a little bit of resistance, keeping your elbows straight. So you're not bending your elbows, you just bring it behind the hips and bring it back to the front. And bring it behind the hips and bring it back to the front. One more time. Take it behind the hips, elbows straight, and bring it back. So you need to release as much as need to keep your elbows straight. And let us again come to the downward dog. And again, today in every downward dog, I want you to do a couple of shoulder blades slides, down and up. So finding how you can stabilize the shoulders. So this is a very important understanding for any arm balancing. It's how you stabilize your scapula, how you stabilize your shoulder, build the strength of all those small muscles to support the shoulder. And then from here, look forward and walk toward the front of the mat. Set your feet hip distance, just drop the head down. Feel stretch behind your legs all the way. Relaxing the arms, shake your arms and shoulders, give a little bit of a release, and then very slowly come up into a standing position. Okay, so let us flow here to warm up the full body, to warm up the spine. With inhale, lift the arms up. So now with all the warm up for the shoulders, just check how you lifting the arms. If you feel a little bit more freedom in the shoulders to keep the arms overhead. Bring the palms together, hinge from the hips, and come into deep fold forward from the hips down. Then step the left foot back and drop the left knee down to the floor. Go as deep with your left hip as it feels right for you. Bring your hands to the hips. Press the hips forward even more. And let us come into the cactus pose. Lift the chest and just press the palms backwards. So open the chest. Create some stretch on the front of the chest. Feel the whole front of the body opening here. Exhale, bring the hands on the floor, tag the left toes, and step into downward dog. And again, in a downward dog, just work with your shoulder blades. Just think of the position where they are. Control that you're not creating unnecessary tension on the top of your trapezius. And then look forward and slide into plank. But just remember how we pressed the upper back against the resistance band. So slightly around your upper back. Allow the pop-up of the space between the shoulder blades toward the ceiling. Tug the tailbone and feel strong glutes. Drop the knees down and exhale, come all the way down to the floor. I hope you can reach the blocks to have them on the sides of the mat. I didn't told you before, so just adjust your blocks to place your forearms on the block. Wrists are straight here. Your forehead or touching the floor, or you slightly lift your face so your nose is not smashed into the mat. Have a very strong legs and very strong glutes here. Neck is parallel to the floor. And you want to lift your forearms from the block. Keep them parallel. Don't flex your palms. Don't flex your wrist. Try not to bring your elbows to your rib cage. Control that the elbows are 90 degrees. Feel like you're squeezing the shoulder blades and all those muscles around the upper back is working. Exhale, release your forearms down. Bring the hands on the sides of the rib cage, tug the toes. You're welcome to come through the cat stretch and then into the downward dog. Exhale, long spine. On next inhale, step your left foot forward and drop the right knee down to the floor. Get the comfortable lunge position. Pretty deep one, stretch the hip. Take the arms in the same cactus pose. Again, bring your gaze up toward the ceiling and again just press the forearms back. Feel some stretch on the front of the chest. So try to keep them a 90-degree heather. So your arms are up, bend them, steel cactus pose. Yeah, just pressing them back. Very good, yeah, very good adjustment. And then exhale, bring the hands down to the floor, tug the toes, and step into the downward dog. Exhale, lengthening through the spine. And next inhale, flow into the plank. Press the floor, strong glutes. Exhale, drop the knees and come all the way down. Exhale. So this time I want you to place the blocks somewhere like on the corners of the mat. Align them with the corners of the mat and bring your arms inside the blocks, right? So like they're parallel to each other. You can watch me on your screen. So I will be having my head down to the floor and I will be lifting my arm with a fist and moving this around the block and then bringing them back. And then I'm going to do the same with the right arm and bring it back. We're going to do it 3 times for each arm, okay? Did we get it? So forehead down to the floor and lift your left arm off the floor. Keep an elbow as straight as you can. Move it around the block and release it to the floor. Then lift to the fist again and bring it inside the block. Do the same with the right arm. Lift to the right arm and move it around the block. Lift it and bring it inside. Again, lift the left arm, move it around the block. Straight arm though, straight arm, not bent elbow, straight arm. Okay? So watch me here. I'm gonna rotate myself. I'm gonna squeeze my legs here. So I'm gonna show it this direction. So you lift your straight arm and bring it around the block. Lift and bring it around. If this is too high, move the block lower, right? So you're just moving around the block. Lifting and bring it around. Lifting and bring it around. So do it a couple of more times. Yes. Good. So moving in and moving out. Yeah, last time both arms. So I can observe that you at home practicing exactly what I'm designed for the practice. And then here find your hands coming to the sides of the rib cage, tug the toes and come into the downward dog. Head between the arms, long spine. Exhale, and the next inhale, look forward and walk to the front of the mat. Set your feet hip distance and then very slowly roll up into the standing position. Exhale. So let us pick up the band. We're going to practice the chair pose today with a band. And again, you have a band not really tight. You just hold the feeling a little bit of resistance here behind the back of the head. And we're going to come into chair pose. And exactly how we did it in sitting on the cross leg position, I want you to feel how you engage in the abdomen muscles to press the back of the body into the resistance band. So you are having the resistance band behind your back, pressing this, pressing the shoulder blades against the resistance band and just engage in the abdomen. So you're not rounding your back and you're not extending your back, but you just engage in the front and engaging the whole back of the body holding here. Very good. Do you feel the work on the abdomen? Wait for me. Good. And then come up and take the band away. And let us now come into the chair pose without the band, with the arms parallel, and think that you're pressing the whole back of the body into this imaginary resistance. Engage in the abdomen. Body weight comes to the heels. And now from here, all what's happening, you're lifting your hips, sliding your hands below the knees, but you're maintaining this neutral spine position. Then touch the floor and step the left foot back. This time you are in a high lunge. Bring the hands on the hips and lift the torso up. Keep the right knee 90 degrees. Take your arms into the cactus pose and let's twist to the right. And maybe pulse here. So just a little bit pulsing here to activate the thoracic spine. Couple of times, come back to the center. And then bring your hands to the floor and step into downward dog. Exhale, head between the arms. On next inhale, flow into plank. Press the floor Slightly pop the space between the shoulder blades, have a strong glutes. Then drop the knees down to the floor and come all the way down. This time we will not use the block, but we're going to come into the cactus pose again. Your strong legs, your strong glutes support your lower back. You lift your face off the floor, you lift your forearms off the floor, and hold. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the hands on the sides of the rib cage, tuck the toes. Exhale, come into the downward dog. So remember, I'm asking you today, in a downward dog, experiment with position of the shoulder blades. Play with moving them up and down to find your stable shoulder position. Then from here, we'll step in the left foot forward into lunge and then lifting the torso up. Taking the moment to set the balance, taking the arms in cactus pose, and let's twist to the left. And again, let's pulse it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to the center, bring the hands on the floor, step into downward dog. Exhale. On next inhale, flow into the plank. Feel how your stable shoulders, use your triceps. Resist to the gravity with the front of the body. Drop the knees down to the floor and come all the way down. We're going to have the same variation with a cactus pose with the strong legs and glutes. Lifting the face off the floor, lifting the forearms off the floor, holding here. Neck is parallel to the floor, so don't lift your chin. Keep your head between the forearms. Exhale, bring the hands on the sides of the rib cage, tuck the toes, come into the downward dog. Exhale, long spine. On next inhale, look forward, walk to the front of the mat. And then we'll come into the hip hinge, sliding the hands on the knees, below the knees, where you need to be with a neutral position. And from here, coming into the chair pose, remembering how we engage in the abdomen to resist to this imaginary band behind you, like you're pressing yourself back. And then from the heels, lift yourself up, exhale, and release the arms on both sides of the hips. Exhale. So let us take the band. We're going to use it today for a couple of triangle alignments that we will experiment today. So let's go into the regular triangle, turning the right foot out, left foot in. So you're in a triangle distance, and then you're stepping with a right foot on the top of the band, okay? And you're keeping the other side of the band in your right hand. So palm facing the ceiling, okay? Getting your hips facing the front, hinging from the hips. I would like you to come into triangle pose and feel a little bit of resistance when you pressing the right arm away, having the left hand on your lower back, rotating the left shoulder forward. So don't grab the band with your fist, but rather open the palm and just secure that with the thumb. I want you to keep your palm open and hinge from the hip. Little bit lower, Emilia. Press the hips to the left. Open in here. Stretching the whole right side. Rotating the left shoulder back. Look into the screen. Feeling how your left leg is really grounding you. And come all the way up. Let's try to build it on the other side. So let us turn the left foot out. Step on the band. Have the right foot turned in. So open the left palm and bring the band around and secure that with the thumb. And then from here, hinging from the hips, you're coming into triangle torso, lengthening, and just feel how you have a bit of a resistance here in a band, and you need to work with your oblique here. Emilia, you have to go to the other side. Rotate to the other side. Okay, I'm going to be turning with, so you can be symmetrical. So you should go this way here. So you're coming this way, or depend on which side you are coming this way. Okay, yes, that's it. And come all the way up and shake your arms. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky to follow at home, but try your best. So let us come into, don't put the band yet. So let us, again, turn the right foot out and bend the right knee. So you're in the lunge, you're like in a warrior two legs, okay? You're in a warrior two legs. And now you place the band under the right foot, so that with a knee bend, and take it behind the back with the left arm. So band is behind the back. Okay, finding what is a resistance that you like. Bring the right elbow to the right knee and press the band up toward the ceiling, and try your best to touch the band with your left shoulder. Feel that you are, so it has to be really light resistance here. And just stretching it up and trying to rotate the left shoulder back as far as you can. You might feel that you don't really need this right arm. You're working from the core muscles here. And just hold. And let's release. So your left shoulder worked hard. So release the band, turn the right foot in, turn the left foot out, bend the left knee. So the left knee now bent. Bring the band onto the left foot. Okay, and then with the right hand, take the band behind the torso. So it's behind the right shoulder. And then bend your left elbow to the left knee and stretch the right arm up. And try your best to rotate the right shoulder to touch the band. Very good. Yes, exactly what I want you to do. So you're in extended triangle. And just see if you can actually release your left arm. Hold here from the core strength and rotate the shoulder. Very good. Yes, 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 yes. And let's release. Exhale. Okay, we were more successful in this pose. Taking your toes in now and taking the band behind, holding it with the palm facing the front. So letting the palm just facing the front and just secure the band, hinging from the hips, and taking the band behind the head and maybe moving the shoulders a little bit here with the band, feeling how the band squeezing them. Just go what feels right for you. You can just hang here for the couple of exhales and then release slowly up into standing position and go toes, heels, together, feet together, placing the band in front of the mat, coming into the mountain pose with the arms on the sides of the hips, neutral pelvis position, catching your breath maybe from those a bit confusing triangles that we practice. And then with inhale, lifting the arms up, hinging from the hips, exhale, folding forward all the way. Bring the hands on the shins, lifting the chest into the half fold, shoulders open. And then touch the floor and step the left foot back into the lunge. Picking up the band, coming up into warrior one and holding the band in front of you. A resistance should be something that you're able to stretch, and the band with the straight arms touching your chest. So it's in front of the chest. And release. So we're basically working a little bit on their pec strength and also biceps. So just going for 3, 4, and 5. Bring the band down to the floor and step into the downward dog. Exhale. On next inhale, step your left foot forward into lunge. Pick up the band. Come up. And again, have it in the same position. We're going to do another 5. So stretching this for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring the band down to the floor. Step into downward dog. On inhale, flow into plank. Drop the knees. Exhale, come all the way down. This time we go into traditional position for the palms. Our shoulders are ready to go into cobra. Roll the shoulders back, forearms perpendicular to the floor, and then lift the chest off the floor. Feeling that you are using all the back muscles. And then exhale, tuck the toes, come into the downward dog. Exhale. On next inhale, look forward, walk to the front of the mat. Bring the hands to the shins, lift the chest halfway, and then come into the chair pose with your knowledge how you want to activate the posterior chain here, shoulders relaxed, body weight on the heels, and then from the heels, press yourself up, inhale, and let's exhale, bring the arms on both sides of the hips, have a break here. Okay, picking up the band for maybe the last time, and we'll bring this behind the shoulder. So band is touching the shoulder, so you're not letting the band to come away from the shoulder blades. It doesn't need to be a huge resistance. Just holding the arms parallel to the floor with a little bit of the resistance. Bring the body weight to the right leg, lifting the left leg, and just coming into the balance here. Feeling how you need to resist from the abdomen muscles, stabilizing your right hip, flexing the left foot, holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Without stepping the foot, come back with your arms and then release. Shake your shoulders, shake your arms, and let us go to the other side. Bring the body weight to the left foot, lift your right foot, and go. Flexing the foot, holding here. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Try not to drop the leg. First come up, and then release. Great. So one more. So watch me maybe first. So I'm stepping with my left foot. So my left foot behind, and I'm holding the band on the edges. You're gonna figure it out where you need to hold. Having the balance on the right leg, I'm lifting my left leg, and what I do, I'm pressing the foot. So instead of collapsing forward with the torso, I first pressing the foot into the band, and then for the balance, I'm coming with the torso down. And you just keep your arms where it feels right for you. Feel a little bit of resistance. Focus on pressing the foot into the band. Yes, trying to use also this reference that your shoulders and hips are parallel. So if you have your arms on the sides of your knee, you have the same distance of your fingers from the floor. So not this way, but parallel. And then release the leg, lift the torso, and just change. Step the right foot into the band, and from here, bring the body weight to the left foot, lifting the right, coming into the balance, and use those straight arms. Use a little bit here of resistance to activate the back leg, to feel that you're using that for balance, and torso is just coming forward a little bit. Neck is neutral. Feel that your glute, right glute in the air, working really hard right now. And then release. And that's it. For the resistance band as the resistance, we'll use it for the hamstring stretch a little bit as a strap. Bring your feet parallel to each other. Take your arms on the sides of the hips. Just have a moment to scan the side, back, front of the body. Scan your shoulders. Hopefully feel yourself a little bit tall, a little bit more ideal postural here. Alignment with inhale. Lift the arms up. Exhale, folding forward into the relaxed fold. Touching the floor, stepping the left foot back into the lunge, lifting the arms up into the warrior one. Holding the warrior one for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring the hands on the floor, step into plank. Holding the plank for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drop the knees down. Exhale, come all the way down to the floor. Reset your hands if needed. Lift your chest, elbows tuck to the rib cage. Tuck your toes, exhale into the downward dog. Exhale in here, one more time. And stepping the left foot forward into lunge. Lifting the torso up, grounding yourself. Lifting the arms overhead. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the hands on the floor, stepping into plank. Dropping the knees. Exhale, come down. Hands on the sides of the rib cage. Lift the chest up. And then from here we come into the child pose. This time you're welcome to have your arms resting here. Maybe you love to have the palms facing the ceiling. So just allow the shoulders to rest into the fold forward. Next inhale, lift your chest up. And just maybe watch me before you go lie on the back. We will be using the strap just to hold the foot. And I would definitely like you to have his elbows straight. And we will come with the leg to the side. And then we're going to go with the leg across. So make sure you have enough space here. So we'll start with the right leg up. So bring the band, if you have strap and prefer strap, it could be strap as well. Hold the band with the right arm. Ground your left hip. Keep your left hand on the top of the left hip. And just open the right leg to the side, keeping the foot flexed. And because we have a band, you have a little bit of a bouncy movement here. And that's okay, and you can play with that by moving the leg a little bit up and down and toward the shoulder. So just playing with the position of the thigh bone in the hip. Make sure you have external rotation of the right thigh. So that means that your toes are parallel, your foot is parallel to the floor. And make sure that your left shoulder and the left hip is grounded to the floor. On next inhale, lift your leg up. This time you need to bring the strap into your left hand. Bring your right arm into T and take your leg across. You might turn the head to the right as well. So feel a lot of a stretch around the right glute, hamstring, calf. Keep the foot flexed. And again, because it's the band, you can play a little bit here, like a bouncing movement. Just trying to move the bone a little bit in the hip socket here. And let's take the right leg up. And we'll change. We'll bring the left foot in. Readjust your pelvis. Make sure that the pelvis remains flat on the floor. Extend the right leg. Bring the right hand on the top of the right hip and open the left leg out. And again, work with external rotation of the hip. Keep your shoulders aligned and feel some inner thigh stretch here. And because with a resistance band, you can play a little bit opposition of the thigh bone into the hip socket. Just rotating, just moving a little bit here. Feeling a bit of a gentler stretch. And then bring the left leg up, bring the strap into right hand and go across. Bring the left arm to the floor. Make sure the left shoulder not coming off the floor. You feel quite intense stretch around the hip, around the thigh. And release her leg up. Let us now bring both feet into the band and then spread them into the happy baby. Bend your knees, and instead of reaching to your feet, I want you to be relaxing your shoulders and use the band to take your knees toward the chest. And I would invite you today, because of this moderate position of the hands, you can pay more attention to what's happening in your lower back, what's happening in the pelvis on the floor. You're maintaining the neutral position. You definitely can walk your hands closer to the feet, but keep your elbows bent, like just the hand in here and the shoulder blades on the floor. So work here a little bit on a nice stretch of the lumbar spine. You can rock a little bit from side to side if you feel so. Couple of more exhales. Feel the inner thigh, groin area stretch. And then let us lift the legs, bring the feet together, and then keeping the feet together completely. Hold the band and bring the heels into the groin area. Open knees wide. And here, if you like, if you feel that to hold the band is not enough for you, you can reach and grab your feet with your hands, opening the hips, but still maintain your neutral spine. So if your hips are tight, you might feel that your tailbone rolling off the floor. So then the resistance bands is really helpful for you to maintain a neutral spine. So think more of elbows pressing into the knees to keep the inner thigh opening here. And let us release the feet. Bring your strap away and take your feet together, knees together. And just take a moment here. So I would like you to get your heels just a little bit away. So don't bring the heels too close, or don't scoop them toward your hips. Move them a little bit away, just a little bit away, not too far. So it's definitely not close to 90 degrees. And then from here, let's tilt the pelvis and lift the hips off the floor, but not going high. I want you to feel not just a glute work, but a hamstring work. If you don't feel your hamstrings, you need to move your heels a little bit further away. And then lift the hips and you start feeling the hamstring work. Okay, hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come all the way down. Take a rest. And then we'll do it again. Lifting, so start with your pubic bone. Lift the hips, use the glutes and hamstring. Hold for 5, 4, 3, try to keep your knees together. That's going to be work for your inner thigh. And release. And one more time. So this is a very interesting work for the lower abdomen area, pelvis area, inner thighs, glutes, hamstring. Just a small variation, but the heels away and knees together gives you the whole new spectrum of strength. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come all the way down. Let's extend the legs, maybe shake them a little bit, and then we'll practice Bananasana. So move your heels to the left, maybe cross the top the right ankle on the top of the left. Move your shoulders to the left. If it's working for you to hold the arms overhead, that could be a position. If not, on the left arm could be over the head and the right arm stays on the floor. You can just turn the head a little bit to the left, opening the right side of the body. Coming into the yin mode here. Just trying to keep it all relaxed, not putting much effort into that. We'll be holding this a little bit longer. Taking another exhale and then bring the head back on the midline. Bring your heels back on the midline. Adjust the whole body and then move your heels to the right, maybe crossing the ankles, moving head and shoulders to the right. So both arms overhead, or if it's too much, it's just the right arm and left arm along the body. Feel a lot of a stretch around the left hip. Again, be in the yin mode, don't put too much effort. Use the duration of the pose to get the intensity here. And then with the next exhale, release the arm, release the legs, maybe bend the knees, just adjust your pelvis here, take your arms in T position, and let us finish that with a gentle twist of the hips. You can have your knees bent, again turn the head toward the right side. Focus more on a bit of the back of the hip stretch, a lower back stretch here. You can have and test your shoulder mobility improvement. You can bring your arm into the cactus pose and see if your right forearm could be on the floor or it's lifted. So for me, my forearm is still lifted. So see if you can adjust the shoulder blade and bring it back. And then we'll very slowly return back into the knees up. So I'm practicing that with the cactus pose, arms dropping the knees to the right, sliding the left knee high, turning the head to the left and trying to keep my left forearm on the floor. Maybe sometimes you need to adjust the upper back a little bit here to keep the forearm down. Then let's very slowly return back into the neutral position. Maybe shake your arms and shake your legs a little bit, and when you're ready, drop the legs and arms to the floor. Let's make sure that the heels coming to the corners of the mat and open your thighs externally. So just feel how your thigh bone sits in the hip socket. And because most of the time we paid attention to the shoulder, squeeze the shoulder blades, open the chest, and then just allow the arms to grow from the shoulders. And any distance from your hips. Some of you might love T, some of you might love a little bit less. So take as much space as needed. And let's take a deep inhale and exhale through the mouth. Letting the whole back of the body relax. Letting the front of the body be all open. And allow yourself to rest here. Mindful stillness. It's not just the stillness of the body, but I'm inviting you to keep stillness of your mind. Focusing all into the sensations of the body that are rising right now. Let's allow some movements in toes and fingers, circles in the wrist and ankles, slowly coming out from stillness, maybe bringing knees to the chest and rocking from side to side. Then when you're ready, roll to one side and come into the seated position. It could be a cross-legged, it could be any other position that you feel is appropriate for you to close the practice. When you found the pose and having the hands resting on the knees, keep your awareness of the chest opening and the length of the spine. Bring the hands in front of the heart and thank yourself for being able to practice. Take the positive energy that you generated in your body, in your mind, to be a guide through the rest of the day. Namaste.